Hey there YouTube, and welcome to another Affection House tutorial, first tutorial for 2014. On this first tutorial for this year, we're going to show you how to make viscosity liquids on Realflow. On this latest animation that I did for my lab tests, I had a really cool feedback from Vimeo and from YouTube and from a lot of places, and I just decided to make to show you how to make this from scratch. I'm going to show you how to make how can I say, a stable animation. And then when you have this stable animation, this kind of liquid, we're going to pass by. We're going to finish with a more elaborated mesh and with a better cool thing here at Realflow. You're going to learn some cool settings here at Realflow, here on Affection House, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Let's jump on a new project, grab your Realflow, and let's get this started. So let's go. Alright guys, once you have your Realflow running, let's just save our project for us to have our assets all together in one folder, and so that will be easier to get to other applications for 3D programs. Let's just put this on Realflow tutorial, and let's bring up a folder to save this. I'm going to put this over here. It's okay, and that's now we can create a new project, and we need just a few things for us to start the animation. So I'm going to put a plane. I'm going to also put a K-volume, also a gravity emitter filter, and now what we can do is just put our emitter. It's going to be the circle. Let's bring this guy a little bit up. Let's just zoom this a little bit, bring this forward. That's okay. Now what you have to do for the K-volume is just to put this to fit on scene. So if you put this on fit on scene, it will fit on the size where the emitter is and the plane is. If you have like exploding particles, the particles won't shoot out from the K-volume. It's better to work this out. Let's just bring this a little bit up. Let's put on this view. If you press 3, you get on this view, and it's a side view, and you have a better look on how the assets are getting positioned. Once we have that, we can already press simulate and see that I have this too slow because I did an animation with slow motion, and I bring the FPS a little bit up. So I'm going to put this to 30. I'm going to set OK. I'm going to set a reset, and I'm going to press play again. What you see now is all the particles are getting separated and getting how can I say, they're not together. This is like the basic settings for the Realflow. What we need to do to start tweaking and to start to see some differences here is just on the emitter. We're going to reset this again. We're going to our emitter, on our circle emitter. We're going to bring up viscosity. This is set based to water, and if you put this on about 100, let me check 100, and the X pressure like about to 7 should be cool for the start. What I'm doing now is just to pass on the several steps for you to get to know which settings you have to change for your liquid to work. If you put this to 7, it's okay. Viscosity, it's okay in 100. And if you press play now, make a reset. If you press play, you see that the liquid is a little bit, how can I say, more tight. But we already have some particles that are exploding, and this is okay. But this is a little bit ugly for the animation. We already mixed the X pressure and the viscosity, and what we need to do here on the plane is like to bring some how can I say, some settings for the liquid to be like sticky on the plane. You're going to grab a sticky and put this to, let me see, the circle emitter is on how can I say, it's on a viscosity of 100. You can put this on a viscosity on sticky like to 100. That's okay. So on the bounce, I'm going to put this to 0.001 because we don't need like bouncing particles on this part, so that should be cool. Non-particle friction, it's okay like this. And let's make a reset. Let's see what we have now. So we still have like particles exploding. It's okay, but we see on the floor that how can I say that the particles already like more grabbed on the floor. So for us to fix the exploding particles and how can I say and the flow for this fluid, it's very easy. So we just need to go up here to the speed of the circle. Go to the speed of the circle. How can I say just put this to 10, and if you make a reset and press play, you see that you have a bigger flow. It's faster. How can I say? We still have like particles exploding, but that's okay. We're still setting up the point. But you see that you already have how can I say the liquid grabbing on the floor and is being sticky. So what we need to resolve this is just to how can I say up our minimum substeps and our maximum substeps, and let's make some changes until we have this good for us to make a full sim on this. So let's put this to 100 and let's put this to 200. If you press OK, make a reset, and if you press play now, you see that probably we could have like some particles exploding, but the minimum, the max substeps always helps you like to grab your, how can I say, your liquid together, and to have a more fluid and stable simulation. So we're getting good on this, and let's just check out on this view how it is. So we already have our particle. I don't think we have like exploding particles now. So what we need to do just to have, how can I say, more this as a stable animation, we just need to up a few settings over here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to the scale of the emitter. I'm going to press reset. I'm going here to the emitter scale. I'm going to put this to 0.5. Let me just check. On all axes, 0.5, 0.5. That's okay. And also we're going to increase a little bit more for the viscosity. I'm going to put this viscosity to 300, and also on the plane to 300. Let me just check the sticky to 300. Okay. Let's just put the emitter a little bit up, and let's just see on the side view where we are. That should be cool. And let's make a reset, and let's just resimulate this to see how our animation is going. So we have some really blowing, exploding particles, but that should be fixed in the real soon. So what we need to do, once we have, how can I say, increased our viscosity, we have to increase our minimum and max substeps. So I'm going to put this to 300, and I'm going to put this to 420. And what Realflow is going to tell you is your max substeps is too large, but you can, how can I say, this inducts you to not continue the animation. So, but in order to have like viscous liquids, we have to do this. So, and it's okay. So if you press reset and you make another simulation, let's just check how our liquid and how to see how is this working. So it's of course the minimum and the max of steps always how can I say, slow down a little bit your animation, but it always helps you how to get like a stable animation for the liquids and for the fluid. So on viscosity, you have to mix with a lot of settings to get for the viscosity that you want, because like ice cream is one viscosity, gonna say oil is another viscosity, and you just have to play around and see which I can say which settings works better for you. So also we work in this how can I say with one resolution. This is just for this tutorial purposes, because if you make this like on about 3 or 4, you're going to have can I say a better film mesh, and also you have to increase again all your minimum and maximum steps. So once we had that, I think we have already having a stable simulation in here, because I'm not seeing like exploding particles anywhere, and this is getting good. And what we could do in here for this first animation, we can increase, how can I say, we can just put the ruggedness over here to 0.1. Let's just make a resim on this, and also just 1 second, just let's put the speed of this a little bit higher, like about to 12. Okay, so let's just zoom this a little bit out. Let's make a reset and resimulate again. So just for us to see if we have like a different animation and a more stable animation. So we already passed for the point that we have how can I say, all particles exploding and all particles like getting separated, and we already having a cool and stable animation on this part, and I'm staying happy with this. So this is the first part for this stable animation. You can also, like, how can I say, increase a lot your resolution, and also you can decrease your scale. You can put this like to about 0.2, and then but if you decrease these, just remember that you have to put more resolution for the particles to fill how can I say, the emitters. So that's a good way, how can I say, to solve that. So but remember always, if you mess up with the resolution, how can I say, and the emitter size, and also for the how can I say, for the stiffness, you also have to make a lot of changes on the minimum and the maximum steps for the animation. So you always have to have that how can I say, in mind. So I think we have a already cool animation on this, and it's stable now. All the liquids getting together, and this is like I said, this was the first part for the animation to work out. So I'm seeing like this, like a little bit striped. I'm going to also increase a little bit, can I say, this a little bit more to 400, and this guy to about 600. That should be okay. And let's make a reset, and just going to put this where it is, like speed, okay, speed again to 10. 10 was okay, and I'm going just to put the circle emitter a little bit lower, so that we can have a better fluid animation. So let's resimulate this, and let's see if we have like a stable animation for us to pass to the last part for the how can I say, for my last animation. So this is getting good, and also like Realflow asks a little bit for the RAM for the animation. So just make sure that you have all settings, how can I say, working nice together, because you can like pass a lot of time like watching for renders and for nothing. So yeah, we're getting a really cool animation on this, and I think it's getting stable. And what we're going to do next is going to sorry, I'm going to resim this again. I'm going to change a little bit the viscosity and the resolution for that kind of animation that I did for my Realflow lab tests. And then on the end, I'm going to show you how to mesh this. And after that, you can render your thing and bring to another 3D program and make a cool render on this. So hope you're enjoying this tutorial, and you hope you keep continuing follow along. So let's make a stop on here. And like I said, see, I'm getting a cool animation on this. It's getting fluid and it's getting okay. So what we need to do just for this to work okay is just how can I say, we can bring the viscosity, as I said on the viscosity that I put on the last animation was huge. So I bring this to 3000, but on this tutorial I'm going to show you that that we can do that for less. So I'm going to put the viscosity to 1500. It should be good. And on the plane I'm also going to put how can I say, the stickiness 2500. Okay, all right. So also the particle friction, I'm going to put this to 1 so that the particles stick like better together on the floor. And on here, let's just check 1000 density is okay. Now X pressure, I'm going to put this to 12. And if I reset this and resimulate, you see that it's going to take a little bit more. That's because your how can I say, your viscosity is it's on a high level. So but that should work out to for the scene that I did for that last animation. So let's just see this how it's behaving, and let's press 4 to the to the front to the front view, and we see we have a lot of particles exploding and a lot of things that are running bad here. So well, what you have to do is just a simple thing: go to your options and go to your minimum substeps to 2500 and bring your max substeps to 4000. This should fix the, how can I say, this exploding particles and the bad behavior of the liquid. So let's press reset again and let's make a sim. And if you organize like how can I say, this animation cool, we're going to render this. We're going to make the sim. Probably going to wait a little bit. I'm just going to make a pause, and then when this finishes, how can I say, the simulation, we're going to check out if our simulation is okay, and if we can make a, how can I say, a cool mesh on this for you to get the tutorial done. So let's just wait a bit and until this goes on the floor, and then we make a stop and the same for the full tutorial. Let's just wait a bit. As it is, yeah, Realflow always have how can I say this, when you're increasing a lot of how can I say, the viscosity and the parameters of these settings, how can I say, it takes a lot from your machine. So be wise and always take care of the settings, because you can wait a lot of time for nothing. So let's just see how this is getting to the floor. So just wait a bit, and we get ready for our last simulation. All right, it's just on view 3, and let's see if we have like exploding particles and all that, like filling back. All right. Yeah, because to have, not gonna say to have this, yeah, okay, to have this kind of, how can I say, resolution, I put this on about 3, 3 resolution, and with 3000 viscosity, and I increase a lot the minimum and the maximum substeps. So of course, that you probably have to wait a little bit for this simulation to go. So, but I think I'm happy with this, and we're just going to sim this to the end, and we're going to see how the mesh, how the how can I say how the particles are behaving, and let's see if we can we can continue the tutorial. So let's hope this work well, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Okay, so we finished our sim, and took me about like 25 minutes, and to see this, I'm really happy with this because we don't have like any particle explosion or any bad thing on the fluid animation. So I'm happy with this. So what we can do now is just make some tests with some meshes, and to check out which mesh is better for our sim, and we're ready to leave this with you for you to take to a 3D program and use this whatever you want. So the tutorial is based on Realflow, and if you also need some tips to get this on Cinema 4D and make a really cool render on this, I also have some tutorials that teach you how to bring Realflow animations to Cinema 4D. So let's just finish this up, and I'll leave you with a cool tutorial. So once our mesh is done, as it is, we can bring over a particle mesh. I'm going to for a standard, and on this standard, we can also, how can I say, make some tests before rendering all the full animation. So what you're going to do, you're going to the filter, and you're going to put this on 0.1, and bring over this to, how can I say, yeah, leave this on 146, and just right click and then set build. And once you're building, you're going to see, how can I say, you're going to particle mesh, and you're going to click this guy just for us to see the shading that we're going to have on another 3D program. So once you've done the first build, you see that how can I say, all our details are gone. So what you need to do, just decrease this a little bit more, and we're going to have the detail again. So I'm just going to put this on 0.01, and I'm going to right click and build again. So now that you see, we get back our detail, and it's looking a little bit better. So also we're going to make, let me see, 143, 141. Going to particle mesh again. Going to put this on 0.03, and let's make a build and see how this is going. Yeah, I think it'll look better with the 0.0, but we're going to also make another test on about 0.2, check 0.02, let me check, I'm gonna go build again, and if you see, we already have the detail, and I think I'm better with the 0.1, and just build this again. Yeah. And if you need also more detail, of course, for this tutorial purposes, I didn't bump that up the resolution because I wanted to be I wanted to make the sims faster, so I can bring this over on a short tutorial. But you can also like increase this a lot and have more detail on this. And also you can how can I say, you can go to the circle and just bring a little bit down here the radius for your mesh. So the tutorial is this. I hope you enjoy this. Now after you have chosen the best settings for your, how can I say, for your mesh, just bring this over backwards and press play. Do your simulation and then bring it over to a 3D program of your like. So hope you enjoy this. More is going to follow. So I'm going just to be back to my projects, and hope to see you on the next tutorial or on another client project. So hope you enjoy this, and see you soon, guys. Bye.